Rock and Music Podcast once again. Thank you for being here. And if you haven't hit that subscribe button, please do so I can bring you great artists like the one I have today. Sitting in with me, Gene Potts of Colossal Street Jam. Colossal Street Jam, a 5-piece, 70s inspired rock and roll band from Asbury Park, New Jersey. That says a lot right there. They got Jersey roots. In 2016, the band released their album called Living Free, which would land them an Australian Indie Album of the Year for Internet Radio Award, which is pretty great. They would release a follow-up album in 2018 called Just Take Hold. In 2019, the band completed 2 tours of Europe, and over the years, the band has shared stages with Grand Funk, Stone Temple Pilots, Johnny Winter, Deep Purple, a bunch of big iconic names. The band has just released a video for their new single, which is the title track of the upcoming record. It's called No Way to Live, and it's a killer. Gene, so great to have you here, man.
Thanks for having me, buddy. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. No Way to Live on its way. But we get a sneak peek at the title track, and it's pretty great. Pretty great.
Thanks. Appreciate that.
Yeah. What's the writing process for you guys? You got this record. It's an amalgamation of all these different sounds and so much going on. Is that one guy? Is that the whole band? Do you get in a room and write? How's it work?
Well, it's 5 guys. The main guy coming in with the riff is Sal Mara, our guitar player. So Sal will start with an idea, and we all have our ideas, but Sal usually is the starting point. For this record, which, like you said, will be released in January, because it went through so many different things going on in our lives, and also with COVID and everything. I had cancer, beat it. We got COVID. We got out of COVID. Sal got cancer. His was a little longer than mine. He beat it. And all during that time, which was 3 years, we wrote this record. And this is different for us because usually we write, we play out live. We're a live band. The name is Colossal Street Jam. We jam. These guys go off, they go on tangents, and it's a lot of fun. A 5-minute song on the record could be 10 minutes live. You just don't know. But this was the first time that we wrote a record in the studio. And No Way to Live was started right before I got sick. So Sal brought in the riff. I had some lyrics. He had some lyrics. We joined them together. We came up with the melodies. And then the guys, we get into the rehearsal room, and then we just hash it out, what we feel that song needs. And we've got a good group of guys that really think the same way. So it's really cool.
Man, 5 guys in the same room? What year is it?
I know, right?
That doesn't happen.
I know. We're lucky enough that Eric, our Hammond organ player, has a barn. He's got a big barn that we record in, we rehearse in, and it's huge. So, there's 5 guys in there, but we're definitely not sitting on top of each other, which is good. We're not beating each other up for sure.
It's great, man. And it's Colossal Street Jam, and it is a jam. And like you say, that 3, 4, or 5-minute song can turn into 10 or 15 minutes live. I get that feeling from the record, and I feel you guys in the room together. There's a certain thing that happens when guys are looking at each other in the same room when they're writing or when they're recording even. That is here. There's an urgency to it. That's what you guys do, isn't it?
Yeah. And the beauty of this record, even though it's something different than what we did in the past, you go back to Living Free, our first release with this lineup. It was really written by me, Sal, and Tony. Dave and Eric had their parts, but they weren't part of the writing process. Then when Just Take Hold, we started getting that family feel where it was everybody had their say, everybody had their part. And, a song that would normally take, a day or two, we're trying to get parts together and then we just ride with it. These songs really took some time. And I'm happy with the way things turned out. And I'm happy with how we turned from just three guys into a five-guy unit that is like I said, like family. I always say that all the time, and we feel like a family. We do everything together. It's really awesome.
That is great to hear. Because there are so many that just kind of create together and then they never see each other, you know. Uh, and that's okay. But you know, this does have that, like I say, it has a togetherness. You guys are looking at each other, you're bouncing off of each other,
Yeah.
you're playing off of each other. That feel, that live feel comes in the record as well
Yeah.
as the songs I've heard.
I
Um,
appreciate that. Thank you.
yeah. What inspires you to write? You know, I mean, so it's different for so many people.
Mhm.
Does it matter where you are when you're writing? Can you, you know, be on the exercise bike and write a tune in your head? You know, or do you go to a certain place at a certain time and say, I'm going to write? How's it work for you?
I think it's different with every guy. Sal plays his guitar every single day before he goes to work, and he writes riffs, and then he comes home. You know, he'll record things and just try and remember them, and then bring them to us. And that's how he does things. And he does add, you know, Sal's a good lyric writer and a good melody writer as well. So that's always a help for me. Um, for me, it's funny. Things will happen. It's funny that you asked that question, because yesterday I was in my Jeep and I was driving, and a couple lines came to me. I was just like humming along to like just a melody to a song that was on, and I just shut the song off, and I just started like, oh, I like that. Like I kind of feel that, and then just stuff came in, and I'm texting myself. So I pull over and I'm just start texting myself. You know, and it's funny when you're texting yourself, you're like, oh, I got to make sure I'm not sending this to anybody because they're going to think I'm an idiot, you know. But yeah, it just comes at different times, and there will be times where the guys will come up with a song and a riff and an arrangement, and then I just go home and work on it. It just comes in different ways and different waves of how we do things, but it always ends up with the same result where the five guys are together and agreeing on everything and working it out.
Man, five guys agreeing on everything. Crazy,
You
man.
know, I can't say that we agree on everything, but the songs that are on the upcoming record, and especially No Way to Live, the song itself, you know, we don't do things and we don't start recording until everybody is on board. You know, if somebody feels like something's off, then we continue to work on it. There's been songs that I've completely loved that we still have on the shelf that we kind of said, you know, let's put this back and pick it up in a year or two after we get everything else done. So that's, you know, that happens at times as well.
That's great. It's great. Is there anything particular that influences you to write? You know, something you see, news items, or you know, just thinking of the past, or you know, is there anything in particular that gets you your juices flowing?
Yeah, I got to tell you, this last record is really, when it comes out, people will get what I'm saying. It's not a concept record, but it kind of feels like it is, because everything is about what's kind of been going on in the world and what we've been going through, health struggles and everything, anxiety, depression, social media, just the way people talk to each other. I think this whole record is got that kind of feel where it could be a concept record. It's really, I don't think there's a happy song on the record, to be honest with you. And that's the first time we've had a record where everything is just kind of, I wouldn't say depressing, but the subject matter is definitely very serious. And the record will end with a song called Nothing Like It, which is kind of an ode to rock and roll, where we're back, you know, now here we are, we're back. And this is what we went through. We played to, you know, we didn't get to play to packed houses. We didn't get to get on stage, but you know, we're coming out of this and it's going to be, you know, better than ever. I think that might be the only positive song on the record, even though the song is about, you know, missing everything.
Yeah, yeah, and I love a deep record. You know, I like that. You know, the nothing but a good time and everybody have fun tonight is great,
Yeah.
but you know, this yeah, I like to dig deep. You know, that
I
and
think we did on this. I really do. And there's an instrumental on there, which we've never done. That leads into a song that's very Beatlesque, which is the first time we put something like that on record. There's a song called My Fight Alone, which is a song about anxiety, which I struggle, you know, and I've been open and honest on a few interviews where I struggle since childhood with night terrors. no rhyme or reason. I'm on medication for it, and it's just been a struggle my whole life. So I finally wrote a song about it, and it's called "My Fight Alone," and it's a very emotional song on the record. And I think people will like it. I think they'll dig it, and they'll get the subject matter right off the bat.
And see, and that just the story alone,
Mhm.
and I want to hear it. I want to live it with you. That's it's great that you open up and you're so open about that and writing about it.
Mhm.
And hopefully that helps you too. Work your way through this.
Well, definitely, and the thing is, when you go through something like I went through, and then also more seriously, Sal really, we were afraid we were going to lose him. I went through prostate cancer, so that's not the worst thing, unless it's far gone. Mine was getting to the point where it had to be taken care of, and I went through 45 treatments to get it out of me, and 3 years clean right now. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But
Wow.
I don't mind being open and personal when we're talking about the music and where it comes from. And I really think that everything that we went through, and even the other guys, how we feel about each other. Like I said, we're family. So those guys, like, we're all devastated that a family member's going through things, and it comes out in the music. It really does.
Yeah. See, and I love that. I love that. I love to feel what you're feeling. And that emotive kind of thing going on. It's exciting. I can't wait to hear it. It's a lot different record than Living Free then.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So that's pretty that it's exciting too. We're gonna get a
It's
different
two edges. It's
side.
two ends of the spectrum there. You've got Living
Yeah.
Free is, hey, we're back playing together, and that's what Living Free was about. It was like when Colossal first started, it was all about, hey, we got to make it. We got to be famous. We got to do this, and this. When we decided to do Living Free, Sal, Tony, and I got back together after a hiatus, and it was like, you know, the cards are on the table, the money's on the table. Let's just go. Let's just see what happens, and let's do it for us. It's not about being famous. It's not about how much money you're going to make.
Yeah.
It's about playing music, playing live, playing for the people that want to hear it, and writing for what we want to write. That record is a happy record. It really is. There's one ballad on there. The rest of the record is upbeat and fun, and subject matter is all over the place. But it's a total different record and Just Take Hold. Actually, that middle EP that we put out, that started getting a little edgier. And now I think the music that we're putting out now is the edgiest we've ever put out. Is that a word? Edgiest?
I
But
think it is.
it is now.
It
If it
is.
wasn't, but it's an edgy record. It's a very emotional record, I think, at points. And the riff writing, Sal's riffs are just really chunky and heavy. And for a band that isn't really a heavy band, I think the record comes across heavier than anything we've ever done.
Yeah, I mean, it's there is some stuff, man, that's just it is heavy. It's got some killer riffs. It's really the stuff you've done in the past. It's I love it. It's great. But I hear horns, I hear harmonica, I hear that Hammond whining in there.
Well, the Hammond, that's a big part of our sound.
It sure is, man.
You have to see him live. Oh, if you see him live, he is a whole carnival going on, man. He
Man,
is something else. And the horns, I know we did put horns on the new record on one song. There's a R&B blues tune on there, and we have a 5-piece horn section from the Netherlands that's playing on the record. We have Anthony Kryzan from the Spin Doctors on the record. We have Desiree Spinks. She's from a band called Des and Swagmatics from Asbury Park. They're a soul funk band she's amazing. She's on the record. And Lorenza Ponce, if you know who that is.
yeah.
Lorenza plays violin for Daryl Hall, Sheryl Crow, the Dixie Chicks, Bon Jovi. She's actually on the last song, which was supposed to be a hidden track on the record called Songbird. Songbird was on our Living Free record.
Right.
And but we did an all violin and viola version of the song. It's me, Sal, and her on violin and viola, just to end the record.
Right.
Because Sal was sick, and we wanted to keep moving forward. And our engineer, Tony Lewis, who is the sixth member of the band, he came up with the idea and said, hey, Songbirds are your most requested song when you play live. Let's do something to it. And we did. And we were lucky enough that we had a mutual friend with Lorenza. She came in, she killed it. So it was great.
Man, and you know, that just adds to the flavor of
Mhm.
the music for what you guys do. And that's you know, I think of that Asbury Park. Asbury Park has a sound. You know, it's that Springsteen, of course,
Yeah.
Southside Johnny. It has soul, it has grit, it has a whole bunch of stuff coming at you and jamming.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
that's a thing. You know, I think I relate Asbury Park to that. That is a certain sound that happens in the air over there or something.
Right.
You know, how does that happen? Is that a conscious decision when you go in? You say, you know, I want to represent. We're an Asbury Park band. We want to do this, or is it just an organic thing that happens?
I think it's organic. We're proud to be from Asbury Park, but we really don't fit the mold of what comes out of Asbury Park. Love Bruce Springsteen. Think he's a great songwriter. That's not what we do. We're not Bon Jovi. We're not Southside Johnny. And what you're saying is true. There is a jam. There is a mix of influences that come out. But
That's soul too, you
yeah,
know.
there's soul. There's definitely there's an Asbury Park soul, and there's so many different bands out here. You know, a lot of the bands don't come. They come out of here, and people that can't believe they're from Asbury Park. You have everything from country music to like really heavy music, all coming out of this area because there's so many venues to play, and music is important. You know, there's a shirt that goes around Asbury Park called it says Asbury music saved Asbury Park. That's the shirt. That's all it says. And it's true because if you know this area, and I've lived in this area for quite a long time, it was a hellhole. You know, the Pony closed at one point. You had a venue called the Rock Horse. You had the Fast Lane. You had all these little venues that kind of took the place until the Pony opened back up again. But where it was there was 2 blocks of venues where the rest was just burnt out, burnt down. The boardwalk was a mess. Convention hall was a mess. And over the last 10 to 15 years, this whole area has been revamped into this really trendy, cool. I mean, the venues are amazing. The state of the art, top of the line, venues. And then you've got small venues that have all different kinds of bands, and they're right on the boardwalk. The boardwalk's rebuilt. Convention hall is redone, and it really is. I mean, there's a condo complex where it's like $1.5 million to live in the penthouse. So it went from being a burnt out town to being this really trendy, hip area. And the music has always been there. So it's been kind of cool to be part of that. We've always been part of the scene. And but back to the original thing. Yeah, there's a feel, there's something in the air all the time in Asbury Park, but it's not necessarily just that sound of Bruce or Southside or John.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's there's a soul, there's a jam to it.
Mhm.
Even in Bruce, in his records, he has his verse, chorus, verse songs.
Yeah.
But, you see him live and there's that, it's a long jam.
Yeah.
Let's just rock it out and play off each other kind of thing. That is that ultimate bar band kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's gritty, it's blue collar. I love
Definitely
that.
blue collar.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's cool. It's cool. Tell me about the video. We got No Way to Live, the video. Um, it, it, it is a darker theme. Uh,
Hmm.
but not really I didn't get a dark feel from the song,
Right.
it's not a fun song, but it's it's a bright hopeful song, but it kind of showcases the plight of the American veteran.
Yes.
And is that a situation? I mean, we should all be aware of that. um do you have a personal history with the story that's going on in there?
I don't. I
Okay.
don't. And but the song kind of turned that way when we were writing it. You know, you can't get past it. You know, nowhere, no matter where you go. You know, I've been traveling a bit here and there, and you see it. You see it everywhere you go, and it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
You know,
But
guys that fought for our country are struggling. You know, and so when we started with the idea for the video, it really wasn't going to be. You know, we had so many different ideas, but um, I had gone to an Army Navy store and I'd sat and I talked to the guy that was the owner, and I had bought a camouflage jacket. And the camouflage jacket that I bought is the one that the actor wears in the video. So it just started there in my mind, and I ran it past the guys, and they were cool with it, and they thought it was a good idea. The song is about being down and out, about trying to struggle. You know, there's a line, "The tear in my coat is where my freedom goes." You know, it's kind of like I put money in and it goes right out the bottom, and I'm struggling. You know, and that's what we based it on. And the actor did a fantastic job. That is actually where the live footage of the band, that is our studio. That is the barn that I talked about.
okay.
That's part of where
Nice.
we rehearse and write. And the videos that we've done before, we always did locations. This one, we wanted to do something close to home. The wooded area in the video is the back of Eric's home. He has a couple acres, so that's, you know, we threw the burnt out old van back there, and you know, made this, you know, that guy's home for this video, you know. And then, you know, he runs into somebody else who's down and out, and she steals from him, and you know it. And the end of the video, he's walking away again, just walking on his own. So that's really where the whole video is. You know, it is about a veteran that's struggling, and just, you know, probably there's so many people that are going through it. So I think people will identify with it.
Yeah. Oh, most definitely. Yeah, it's hard hitting. It's emotional.
Mhm.
But like I say, I mean, the song is. I feel good when I listen to that song.
It's
Uh,
funny. We have a couple songs on the record that the subject matter is a little dark, but the song itself hits you in a totally different way. And it's kind of you know, you're like, man, this I want to dance to this song, or I want to sing along, but these lyrics are miserable.
right. Well, yeah, and that's a hopeful thing. That's what I get out of it.
Yeah, yeah,
Even though it's dark, there's a hopeful light to the song. In the sound of it. So yeah, I mean it's very, very hard to do in the songwriting process, is to, have a dark concept or theme and have it sound hopeful, or in
yeah.
the minor, the major key as opposed to the minor key kind of thing. That's it's great songwriting. It really is.
Thanks. And I think that's the whole concept of the record. Look, it's not a concept record, but the whole record itself is it may seem down and upsetting, you know, what we're writing about. It is, at the end of the day, we all came out the other end, right? So we're all hopeful that it's, you know, that people are going to hear these songs and maybe it touches them in a way that they're like, all right, you know what, I'm going to keep on pushing on. These guys kept on pushing on. You know, the main story, you know, the character in the main story is pushing on. So yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, yeah, and it's cool. It's cool. You got another video called Seconds.
Right.
Is another single off the record.
Yeah, that's going to be the next single off the record for through Fret Bar. We
Yeah.
did that video before we did No Way to Live, and you know what? We jumped the gun a little bit. You know, we were unsigned band doing everything on our own, and then we got into talks with Fret Bar, and we signed on with Fret Bar, and it's been nothing but an unbelievable experience so far. It's only been a couple months. Jimmy Warren Entertainment, that's our management now. We're hitting the road in January through them. There's some good stuff coming. So yeah, we release Seconds on our own. It will be released through Fret Bar as well, and that one is that's a whole other
Yeah.
miserable take on, you know, this is depression, you know, and the actress in the video is she did a hell of a job.
But again, I listened to that, and if you're not listening to the sound, to the lyric,
Mhm.
it's a fairly bright sound.
Yeah,
It is not a happy song, but it's a hopeful, Bright Light.
Yeah,
So that's again, great songwriting, really catchy song. I'm looking forward to all the rest of the stuff. It's really
I might have to send you a sneak peek of the record when we get
that
done.
would be cool. That would be cool. Fret Bar, yeah, Jimmy Warren. My friends Mike Mostert and Tony Cavino.
Oh yes,
Yes. He's really putting together quite a label there, and
he sure is.
you guys are a perfect fit. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just great. It's great to have that kind of music coming out, and getting the backing it deserves for sure.
Yes, the
Uh,
new classic rock. That's what we call it, the new classic rock.
there you go.
Yeah, we're very excited about being on Within Theory. I really like those guys. I like their music a lot. But we're gonna hit starting January 19th. We hit with them.
Yeah,
So we're
Mercury
starting
Lounge in New
Mercury
York
Lounge in New
City.
York City, and then PA and Ohio comes after, and then there's a lot of other things in the works, and it's gonna be an exciting year, really exciting for us. We've done a lot in this tri-state area on our own, but now Jimmy branches us out into a whole other level that we've been waiting for.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so great.
And,
There's people here that are gonna experience Colossal Street Jam for
mhm.
the first time. Where do they start? They get on Spotify and they're gonna click something. Is there a song in particular that they can access now that sums up your sound?
That's a tough one. Um, well, of course, I'd say "No Way to Live" because that's a new single. But there's a song called "Just Take Hold." That is the EP, the title track for the EP from 2018. That track is got two really good solos in there. Really catchy chorus. I think that's good. If you like cover songs, our version of Sugarloaf's "Green Eyed Lady."
It is great.
That song was number one on some cover charts, which really surprised the hell out of us. But yeah, that's great. Their version 7 minutes, ours maybe 8 minutes. Live, it could be 15. It's a really good take. And I was watching Monday Night Football the other night, and they played a bit of that song, "Green Eyed Lady." I was like, was that our version or was that their version?
Right, right.
Yeah, so I was excited about that. But yeah, we played with Winery Dogs a couple months ago. Billy Sheehan watched us from side stage, and after the show, we talked to him for a good half an hour, and he was all about. He was like, "I can't believe you guys played Green Eyed Lady."
Uh,
So it was really cool. I mean, it's not our song, but that you can kind of feel what we do
yep.
in the song.
Yeah.
I think when the new record comes out, that's I think people will find a lot of different genres inside the whole 70s classic rock. You'll find different genres on that record, and I think that might be something for everybody on there.
It's great, and like I say, I love everything that you throw in there. I love that Hammond, of course. It's just so great. And we got horns, and we got soul, and it's jam, and it's a feel good. It's a feel good thing, even though lyrically it's going to be a little bit darker themed, but it's going to feel good at the getting through the record for sure. I
Yeah,
know. Well,
we're already writing the next one, so
man, it's great.
I promise this one won't be so miserable. We'll write some happy songs this time.
There you go. Um, you did Europe. You've toured all over. You guys are a live band.
Live band for sure. Yeah.
Will we see Colossal Street Jam back out on tour more? You got those dates coming up. Do you have plans to go back to Europe,
Yes.
North America? You do.
Yes.
All right.
Europe is October of 2024.
All right.
We will be back for at least 2 weeks.
How about Chicago?
I'm sorry.
How about Chicago?
I got to talk to Jimmy. We already started talking about Chicago and St. Louis and all that, maybe February, March. So listen, we really want to go and do what we've wanted to do for a long time. So if Jimmy can put us in these places, and we can work it out schedule wise within the 5 guys, we're going to make it happen. And we're on the same path here. So there's no kind of, we got 4 guys that want to do something and one guy says, oh, I can't do it. No, we're on the same page. So whatever Jimmy throws our way, I'd say 99% of it we're doing, there's always going to be some sort of glitch somewhere, but we want to get out. We want to play. We have a tour bus already, so it's not like we already have one of those. So it's time to get out of tri-state area. Europe was great. Really, really, really love the Netherlands. We'll be back there, Netherlands, Belgium, Germany. We're going to hit Paris this time. We were supposed to hit Paris. We had a 2-week tour in Europe, and we were running a trip for the fans of the band to come with us. And we had like 50 people traveling with us overseas. And we were supposed to start in Paris, which we had never been to. And then COVID hit. Tried to run it like 5 other times and we just couldn't get it to work. And, people dropped off, afraid to travel. And, but now it's just, we're at a whole different level now that it's going to be very difficult to run that, between Jimmy and another agent that we know over there. They're going to put together or have started putting together a tour that's going to be great. Whether we play with some nationals, we play shows on our own. We like playing with nationals. We like opening up those big shows. If we can get on a small tour, 4 or 5 dates here and there, then do our own thing, that'd be great.
Yeah. Oh man. It's happening, man. It's happening. And I'm so glad to
I feel it that it's happening. Like, and we've been through so much and we've gone through that whole up and down of meeting this management company, meeting this person, playing on shows with, we did like 3 shows with Johnny Winter. We did, you're like, oh man, things are looking up. And then you get that lull. Right now, since we signed with Jimmy, there has been no lull. It's the singles out, the videos out. The radio is crazy. That's going great. And just seeing the dates start to come in and talking to Jimmy every day or every other day. Because I'm like the mouthpiece from the band to Jimmy. Because if all 5 of us were hitting us up, he'd be going nuts. Yeah. I'm sure I'm driving him nuts enough. But there's a feeling, the whole band has it. There is a feeling that something good is working right now.
Oh yeah, I can feel it too, man. It's exciting, and I'm so happy for you guys. I'm happy to have
Thank
you.
I appreciate that.
Happy to have Sal here, and the rest of the band as well, of course. I look forward to the album. I look forward to seeing you here in Chicago. That would be great. Gene, let's do it again.
I'm coming to Chicago. I'll make it happen. That way we can meet up.
Awesome. That'd be great, man. That'd be
Awesome.
great. All right. Gene, thanks so much for your time. Looking so forward to it. I appreciate you, my friend.
Thank you so much for having me, man. This has been great.
Absolutely. Thank you. All right. I'll talk to you soon.
Take care.
All right. You too. Bye-bye.